Right now, President Obama is set to speak about the release of his birth certificate. These are live pictures from the White House this morning. Now, the White House released the long-form certificate to the media after major debate on whether the commander-in-chief was actually born in Hawaii, like he said. Now, there were questions as to whether he was born in Kenya, where his father is from, which would make him ineligible to be president. But as we saw this morning, we were looking there at the certificate just a second ago here. It does say that he was, in fact, born in Honolulu. There's a hospital listed there. It has been signed and stamped and certified at this point. So the president is expected to speak here at any second to discuss this situation and why he felt it was necessary to make sure that he released his birth certificate. Donald Trump even recently chiming in on this situation. You can see him here.
Military people lose their lives in Libya, and we don't even know what we're getting into. And I've always said, I'd go for Libya, but I want the oil. You know, in the old days, when you win a war, you win a war. Nowadays, you win a war, we lose lives, we spend billions of dollars, and then we come out and we go back home. And we have all of our wounded to take care of. We have all of the dead soldiers and dead military. And what do we get? Nothing. This is interesting, Libya, because the Arab League, which is Saudi Arabia, and many of the wealthiest nations in the world, told us to go in and take out Gaddafi. Now, if they would have said that to me, I would have said $5 billion right now. You know what? Just for the question, they would have given you all of that money. They would have paid it in 2 seconds.
All right, this is Donald Trump speaking this morning. Now, you also know that
from Libya.
Trump has thrown his name into the ring to run for president coming up here. The president also running for re-election in 2012. But Donald Trump saying this morning that he wanted the president to release his birth certificate, which has now been done. He also saying now he wants to see the president's school record. So this is clearly a hotly debated, hot topic here that he's chiming in on as well. Many of the people asking that the president release this information. So we are awaiting the president's discussion this morning on the release of this. As soon as he starts to speak here, we will bring you the new information. We're waiting for him any minute now.
We will listen to her. Stand by. We're going to watch for the president so we can catch it all. And apparently Donald Trump first brought this up yesterday in the Huffington Post was reporting about it. He offered no proof that the president was a bad student, just said that's what I heard. He heard that. And so now he expects him to release his college records.
He wants to yell that stuff about President Obama. President Obama should say, hey, listen, lift up that hair, dude. Let me see what's going on under there. See if your head looks like the guy in Mad Max.
Well, I think we kind of buried the lead there. Apparently, to take out a head of state, it's $5 billion now. So if you look at Craigslist, that should be the line that you're looking at.
All right, interesting times. Don Geronimo is here.
Hi, everybody.
He is every day between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning. Is loaned to us from KHTK. We're talking about the royal wedding, which is coming up on Friday, and you have uncovered a list of non-invitees.
Oh, I have, along with the Fun and Games Department here at Good Day Sacramento. More than 1,900 people have been invited to the royal wedding, but some pretty big names did not make the list. Here now are 8 princes who are not invited. Okay. First on the list, the Frog Prince. Hey, I told you we were working overtime on this list. There he is, rebeat, rebeat, rebeat. He was not invited. The next one, a very obvious one. Everybody playing at home would have known this. There he is with his purple rain, ready for the kings to stay in town.
He looks so sad.
That's my man, Prince. Well, he's moody, Cody.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Let
moody.
him wear his raspberry beret.
His big pouty lips.
Maybe send it to the symbol and not his name.
How about the next prince? Will Smith.
Oh.
Yeah, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he looks like he has the outfit on that you and I had on last week during Purple Thursday, Cody.
Yeah. He's got the right hat. That's
okay. Number 4, the 4th prince that was not invited to the royal wedding, Prince Charming.
Is that Rich?
I believe so.
I saw some looking. He says, is that me?
He's the handsomest Popo. He's the handsomest 5'0" in all of Northern California. There he is. Hey, Rich. Hey, buddy. Oh, come on.
Humiliated.
Come on. How you doing, Rich?
Somebody's getting pulled over today.
Prince Charming. Number 5 on this list would be producer Corey Prince. And
there he is. Not
Corey,
invited.
Who knows what's going on in that graphic? That was like a daddy. Hold on. President's coming out.
To be continued.
My bid is being
the best
interrupted.
Is yet to come. Let's listen in.
China will...
Stand by.
I would not have the networks breaking in if I was talking about that, Chuck, and you know it.
Wrong channel.
As many of you have been briefed, we provided additional information today about the site of my birth. Now, this issue has been going on for 2.5 years now. I think it started during the campaign. And I have to say that over the last 2.5 years, I have watched with bemusement. I've been puzzled at the degree to which this thing just kept on going. We've had every official in Hawaii, Democrat and Republican, every news outlet that has investigated this, confirm that, yes, in fact, I was born in Hawaii, August 4th, 1961, in Kapi'olani Hospital. We've posted the certification that is given by the state of Hawaii on the internet for everybody to see. People have provided affidavits that they, in fact, have seen this birth certificate, and yet this thing just keeps on going. Now, normally, I would not comment on something like this because obviously there's a lot of stuff swirling in the press at any given day, and you know, I've got other things to do. But 2 weeks ago, when the Republican House had put forward a budget that will have huge consequences potentially to the country, and when I gave a speech about my budget and how I felt that we needed to invest in education and infrastructure and making sure that we had a strong safety net for our seniors, even as we were closing the deficit. During that entire week, the dominant news story wasn't about these huge monumental choices that we're going to have to make as a nation. It was about my birth certificate. And that was true on most of the news outlets that were represented here. And so I just want to make a larger point here. We've got some enormous challenges out there. There are a lot of folks out there who are still looking for work. Everybody is still suffering under high gas prices. We're going to have to make a series of very difficult decisions about how we invest in our future, but also get a hold of our deficit and our debt. How do we do that in a balanced way? And this is going to generate huge and serious debates, important debates. And there are going to be some fierce disagreements, and that's good. That's how democracy is supposed to work. And I'm confident that the American people and America's political leaders can come together in a bipartisan way and solve these problems. We always have. But we're not going to be able to do it if we are distracted. We're not going to be able to do it if we spend time vilifying each other. We're not going to be able to do it if we just make stuff up and pretend that facts are not facts. We're not going to be able to solve our problems if we get distracted by sideshows and carnival barkers.
President Obama addressing the request to see his birth certificate, which he has now shown, showing that he was born in the state of Hawaii in 1961, and that says the legal document that he has now thrown out there. Donald Trump and others have been calling for proof that the president was born in the United States, which, if he was not, would make him ineligible to be president, but he's shown again now that he has been. Now Donald Trump has dropped that, has moved on to whether the president actually was qualified to go to college in his college.
I believe he was just called a sideshow barker.
A sideshow barker.
Isn't it amazing
yes,
that the president has to devote time to that?
Which was his whole point, that he's forced to do it because it's been on the news, it's been out there on television stations that are questioning this and groups that are questioning that. So there you have it.
He's bemused.
He's bemused. That's a good word. You don't hear that
right in the middle of our killer Prince thing.
I know.
I know it was important.
We have one more to show you.
One more. And I think
was not invited to the royal wedding.
We're going to miss Prince Albert in a can, and I know that's old school, but does anybody remember that? I'm the guy. There's the Prince of Darkness for you. Oh, that would be me. Oh, that's lovely.
That's the last one.
That's what I looked like when I walked into church on Easter Sunday.
Wow.
I said, hi,
well,
welcome.
At least you're smiling.
How y'all doing?
At least you're smiling.
And yeah, Prince Albert in a can. Are you old enough to remember? I used to call like CVS when I was a kid. Yeah, let him out for some air. Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better chase it. Yeah. That's our list of princes for you.
Prince is not invited to the wedding. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.